Hey, what's up, everybody? Steve here from Builder Growth IO. I wanted to go over the best business models for woodpreneurs. So, whether you are a beginning woodpreneur, but most likely a an experienced woodpreneur, is someone in lumber construction, sawmill, furniture, any of those sorts of fields, you build and you make materials or you sell wood products, this is for you. So I want to go over the best business models. This is based off of clients that I've worked with, people that I've interviewed on the Woodpreneur podcast. And so I wanted to just go over things with you. And uh, so first off, is portable milling. Portable milling is a very much a growing niche. During the pandemic, lots of companies like Woodmiser and Norwood and some of these portable sawmill companies, they still have backlogs. They have not caught up yet. In terms of their sales. And so what ended up happening is that people wanted to build at home, and they wanted good, cheap lumber because lumber prices were super high. And it's still high. And just the idea of being able to create your own wood products, tables, furniture, even sort of sheds, all of that stuff is possible with portable milling. People come to your house, or you go to somebody's house. A tree comes down because of a tree service put it down, and then they milled it, they dry it, what have you. So I've seen people, if you stay focused, you could, it could be a few $100,000 up to 300,000, potentially up to 500,000 a year business. That is what I've seen on a small scale. If you're like, 1 to 3 people, maybe 2 people most, if you wanted to go there. And that's a good entry level way to get into the wood industry. There's lots of trees around. Urban lumber is a big growing movement, and I believe that there's tremendous amount of opportunities if you have the desire, the skill. Look, you could even get a chainsaw mill and from like a company like Granberg or Lagasol, and get some trees, mill it, air dry it, or just flip it, right? Like that's just a quick and easy way for you to make money. But long-term sustainable, if you wanted to build a profitable business, portable milling with drying is a good service-based business. There's not a lot of people around, let alone people that are professional. So if you could build a business, and a solid business with good systems, like that's a good business for you to get into. All right. Second one is table making. Table making is a really great, and it's just like it's a simple, clear offer. You make tables, right? And so table making, it's gluing up single slab, lumber, gluing up lumber, like all of those things are it's a fairly straightforward business, and people are looking for custom tables, custom legs, um, you know different shapes and sizes, different species. Everybody's looking to make a statement piece, whether it's a river table or all of those sorts of things. So I've seen businesses, if you have the right systems, you can make up to $1 million or more. Gluing up, it could be high-end custom tables, even conference tables. I've seen people $1 million or more just with that. And the equipment stack is fairly simple too. It's not like you need a lot in order to make tables. You need a good brand, you need good systems. Um, you know, that's a great business to have. Okay. Retail lumber and slab sales and lumber sales, that's a different, so that's a really great model too. If you have access to a lot of lumber and you have drying capability, obviously drying is super super powerful. So whether you have like DH kiln, solar, vacuum, what have you, a retail slab and lumber store is a really great model. It helps if you have a storefront, or you can sell at bulk, send truckloads of lumber to different developers or other distributors. That's a great business model to have. That's number three. I've seen people, single, solo people that sell lumber. They have a website. They sell on Facebook Marketplace, make 500 grand a year. And if you want, you can get into like exotic lumber, importing stuff. If you are in a part of a country or the country where you don't have a lot, and you can bring in from import from other areas, right? So if you're in the southwest of the United States, there's not a lot of walnut there. Bringing walnut there, or importing exotic woods from Costa Rica, or Asia, right? Like those types of things that's a very, very lucrative business. Minimum 500,000 that you can make with that. Specialty products, right? These are people that these are companies and business models that you make mantles, pergolas, flooring. If you specialize in a specialty product, that's a really popular. It's a very lucrative business model. If you stay focused, you build a brand around it. You have the right systems. You have the team. You have the right channels, and you know how to process those things. Like that minimum, if you're doing it right, you can make $1 million. You can bring in $1 million. It's a very, very, this takes focus. A lot of woodpreneurs that I know, they tend to like try to do, every single one of these things. But if you stay focused and you find a niche and a market for it, it could be super duper lucrative. Okay. Number 5 is built-ins and cabinets. Again, it's a lot of work in order to build, make kitchens and cabinets and built-ins. But again, if you stay focused, that can be super lucrative. And especially if you're in a growing area, or there aren't a lot of people that do what you do or have that capability. Everybody's always looking for ways to upgrade their kitchens, or use unused space in their homes. And if you have the ability and the skill and the desire to be able to like add some creativity, some architectural renderings using things like SketchUp and CAD software, super lucrative. It is. And again, it's not like, it's not like you need a lot. You could use MDF, you could use plywood, for more high-end stuff, you could use more custom cabinetry, custom lumber, and use things like white oak, right? I've seen minimum 200K, right? Like a custom kitchen could cost, $50, $70, $100,000, right? You could do a couple built-ins and entry-level lockers for 3 to 5 to 7,000. If you do 10, 15 of those a year, that's not a bad business, right? And then this is probably the granddaddy of them all: construction, remodels, interiors, accent walls, like all of those things. Like it's like borderline handyman works, borderline construction, borderline carpentry, borderline, built-in cabinet, like woodworking. It's like this mix. This is probably, the average cost for project, for those sorts of, for these sorts of projects are $5, $10, $20, $30,000, right? If you wanted to, redo bathrooms, redo, any of those sorts of things, redo an entryway, it's a great lucrative model for you. You need a team. Can't do everything yourself. If you do it yourself, you'll kill yourself. And obviously it's like one of those things that, if you have the skills, you have a broad base of skills, and you live in a good area and there are not a lot of people, you have the good systems, you have a good brand, you have a good offer, you can make a really good living. This number 6, construction, remodeling, doing interiors, there's a lot of opportunity there for the right business. And so there's a, another thing. And if you have no skills, or you are like, it's almost like a wheeler and dealer, there's like this sort of go between. Like you could be a promoter, a brand builder. You make 100, 200,000 K, but you need marketing systems to sell. So, if, and I've recently met somebody that, he basically brought in somebody, like he was the person that brought business to construction, remodel, interiors. He brought in business, like he brought it in, he built the brand himself, and then he subcontracted and made sure that uh, he made sure that he had the teams in place and the quality control there, and he dealt with the clients. And so that's a great way if you don't want to do any of those things, but you have other skills. So let me so just some considerations with all of these business models is that your city, depending on where you are, what's your community, what's your city, like can your population and your community support what you're trying to offer? Is there a big need for it? Also, is competition, are there a lot of people trying to do what you do? To me, I look at competition as being a good sign that there's a market for it. If you live in a big enough city and if your competitor is overwhelmed, then that's a good sign, because then that means that you can come in and take some of that business. If the competitor is bad, that's a good sign, because that means that you could take some of that business. But I don't look at competition. There's no such thing as real competition. Everybody has their own unique selling proposition, and you just need to understand and find yours. Also too, just like goals, right? Your goals, how big do you want to get? Like, do you want to stay small? Like, I'm not going to lie. The narrative of people wanting to stay in their garage and, stay small and, only work for themselves and is a nice thing. I've been pushing a lot of my clients more and more to think bigger for themselves and their business. Because oftentimes too, you might be get taken out by somebody that wants to get bigger and has a better brand and is willing to invest in growing their company. And so think about your business, think about your goals, think about where you want to be in the future, because that's a really, really important thing. Next thing is like your marketing and your skills. What skills you have? How well do you know marketing and sales? It's crucial for you as a woodpreneur to diversify your skills and to learn about the business of running a wood business, right? You need to know, professionally develop, network, but marketing and sales skills, really, really important. All right. And then the last thing is you need to have the ability to focus on 1 to 2 things. You can't focus on 5 different things, right? You focus on 5 different things. It's going to be really, really hard. It's learning new processes, doing things over and over again, like starting from scratch. If you focus on 1 to 2 things and you become the best at it and everybody knows, and it's in a growing field, and you have the sales and marketing skills, and you can diversify, like differentiate yourself from your competition, and you have the community that can support it, you're going to win. And so that's what I want for you guys. I want you to be able to think and grow big for your business. And go back. You can watch this video again and look at the different areas that you want. Listen, if you, I'd be curious to see, post in the comments, which one of these are you? Like, how many of these are you doing in your business? And reach out if you need help with anything. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction to help grow and scale your business. All right. Take care.